episode of Off the Script, number 155, part number 1, for your Friday, February 3rd, 2017. I got news, and I got a list, but I got news on why Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker is being planned for WrestleMania 33. Also, is Nikki Bella officially retiring from the WWE after WrestleMania 33? What is in the cards for Nikki Bella and John Cena collectively at WrestleMania 33? Also, Lucha Underground finally coming to Netflix on February 15th. Also, WWE contacting a lot of former WWE superstars for WrestleMania 33. Also, news on The Undertaker's health following the Royal Rumble. Fans get screwed out of $400 seats in the Alamo Dome. Last minute changes to the Raw Tag Team Championship at the Royal Rumble. And Mick Foley finally cleared for hip surgery. Will there be a new Raw GM in his absence? All this, plus so much more, right here on part 1 of Off the Script.
JD from New York, 206, it's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman, get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and I'd like to welcome you to the award-winning for the best new show, and you're looking at the best host of 2016. Also, you guys know the deal. Not only are we award-winning, but this is the number 1 fucking podcast! Not only on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play Music, but this is the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes, right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Off the Script this weekend, February 3rd, 2017. I want to thank everybody that has voted for Off the Script for Wrestling Radio Awards and their yearly award show, man. We won Best New Show, Best New Podcast of the Year, and we won Best Host of the Year. And I'd like to congratulate Solid Monster on winning Best Show overall of the year. So it was very humbling to know that you guys went out there and voted each and every day to get us into contention, to get us the new show honors, to get us Best Host of the Year. That's fucking unbelievable, man. No matter how big or small the award show is, Off the Script does amazing things each and every week, man. I want to thank everybody for voting, and it was very nice to see, waking up to, that Off the Script won Best New Show of 2016 and Best Host, courtesy of JD. So thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate that, man. That was very humbling, and I love each and every one of you. You guys know that. But it was a big Royal Rumble weekend, man. We did unbelievable numbers. Royal Rumble review is still growing. You guys loved it so much that You got 3,500 likes on that motherfucker, man. Unbelievable. The most liked video I have ever done in my YouTube career. And it's only going to get better, man. It's only going to get better. We gained close to 1,000 subs all weekend. The review itself is still growing in views. I believe right now, last time I checked it, it was like 111,000 views. It's just unbelievable, man. And the Rumble, I'm going to say it was a very good pay-per-view. The Rumble match itself is just very underwhelming each and every year. It's very disappointing for the last couple of years. And I honestly believe WWE uses the Rumble as a way to say fuck you to the fans. And that's what I thought that entire match was, man. It had glimpses of possible greatness, but overall, Vince McMahon uses it as an outlet to pretty much do fuck you to the fans. And that's what I think the Rumble has become. It's just been a big one big fuck you to everybody. But I want to thank everybody that showed up all weekend, man. We covered extensively everything. NXT TakeOver, preview and predictions. We did the reviews for both shows. We did the predictions for both shows. Raw, SmackDown, you know, the fucking story with Seth Rollins' injury, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Everything. I mean, there's just so much shit going on right now. And I want to thank everybody for making this the #1 fucking spot that you come to get all your WWE information. So I want to thank everybody, especially the new people that have seen me and thought, you know what, this guy's worthy of a subscribe, man. I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. Like I said, close to 1,000 subs this Royal Rumble weekend. We're going to do the same thing with WrestleMania. We're going to do the same thing with Elimination Chamber. We're going to do the same thing with Fastlane. I would love to get at least close, within fucking striking distance of 80,000 before I go down to Orlando for WrestleMania 33. And I'm trying to get access tickets. I'm trying to get access tickets for the event down there that starts on Thursday. It would be nice to just be in and around WrestleMania and get that feel and just feel the atmosphere, you know, as the weekend begins down there. So I'm going to try and do that as well. But it was a great Royal Rumble weekend, and we're going to continue it on into Elimination Chamber, Fastlane, and eventually end this road with WrestleMania 33. I want to thank everybody that participated in the PayPal Rumble. It was fucking unbelievable. We had 64 entrants in the PayPal Rumble, and shirts were sent out to the 4 winners. I have 5 winners here, but 4 of you, I ordered the shirts and they were sent to you. Expect them to arrive to you in a week. I ordered everybody's desired shirt, the right sizes. They went out to the right addresses. I want to thank everybody for promptly getting back to me with that. I still got the Funko Pop for the first 2 winners that were announced, the first 2 names that were drawn in the PayPal Rumble. I still got to get those out there to you guys. Plus a bunch of other little souvenirs that I got laying around here that I'm not going to find any use for. But I need to stress this. Nathaniel Hexam, please, if you are watching the show this weekend, I have not sent your shirt out. I have not ordered your shirt because you have not reached out to me. Everybody else reached out to me. But Nathaniel Hexam, if you are watching, if you are listening, if anybody knows Nathaniel, let him know that JD is seeking him, and he's got to order his shirts because he was one of the 5 winners chosen for the PayPal Rumble. But I want to thank everybody for participating in that. And I might be doing one WrestleMania season as we get closer to WrestleMania, maybe in March. I'm thinking about it. I don't know how much interest there is, but I think I'm going to do another PayPal Rumble. But the grand prize will be a PS4. I'm thinking about doing it. I want to see how the reception is. I'm going to start teasing it here and there. But if there's a big enough reception, just let me know, all right? And if you guys are interested in it, please let me know in the comment section right here on the channel for this video. If you guys are interested, leave your comment, whatever you guys want to comment about in regards to the news in this video. And then just leave at the end of your comment a hashtag PS4. So do hashtag PS4 at the end of your comment so that I know you would be interested in entering this contest, this second PayPal Rumble right here for Off the Script. But I want to thank everybody for entering and taking part in the first PayPal Rumble. It was such a success that I definitely want to do it again for you guys. You seem to love it. I want to go over this Seth Rollins situation first. I did make 2 videos about Seth Rollins. There were reports from Meltzer. There were reports from Wade Keller, which I took my information from because it was a paid subscription. The PW Torch, okay? Wade Keller was reporting that it's going to be 4 to 6 months that Seth Rollins is going to be out. And then as soon as I upload the video, we did Out of Nowhere on Joe's channel with Joe Cronin's show. We did Out of Nowhere episode 56, where we talked about it in depth again. Until about 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then news broke in the early hours of the morning that I seen from LeBar, I seen from Ryan Satt, and I seen from other sources that Rollins is going to be out about 8 weeks. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less, but right now the estimated time is about 8 weeks, which is roughly 2 months, which is cutting it very, 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 very close till WrestleMania. And if that is the case, I would not rush him back to get to WrestleMania, only to re-injure it again and do prolonged damage to whatever's going on in his knee. More than likely, he's going to miss WrestleMania, but I am hearing now from various sources that it's 8 weeks. It's not the 4 to 6 months that Wade Keller was reporting on the PW Torch, okay? So Meltzer, and I heard from other sources, LeBar also said it on his Twitter, it's gonna be about 8 weeks. That's 2 months. And we are roughly a little less than 2 months from WrestleMania 33. But to bring him back so soon, I think would be a mistake. I think WWE at this point should erase Seth Rollins from all their proposed plans and just go with their backup plans, which I went in depth about in the second video that I did an off-the-script extra for. I'll link you guys in the video with an annotation if you guys want to go check that out. I laid out the entire WrestleMania 33 card without Seth Rollins involved. And with Seth Rollins hurt, it's really going to be a domino effect. You know, and people might not think that it's going to be something that's going to affect WrestleMania, but with Rollins and Triple H now off the table, and you got to think about it being off the table because nobody knows exactly what's going on with Seth Rollins outside of Seth Rollins and the doctors. So you got to book WrestleMania 33 without Seth Rollins there. Nobody understands the fact that if you take away that match, it's like a domino effect. Everything is going to be affected. Literally, everything is going to be affected, and you have to rewrite the entire fucking show. Okay? Outside of the Goldberg and Lesnar, outside of the proposed Reigns and Undertaker match, which I would change. I even think that if they want to, it could affect that match as well. And with the idea I had put in place with Samoa Joe now injuring Seth Rollins, why not take that a step further? He already injured Rollins. Roman Reigns was also a part of that fatal four-way in which Triple H fucked over not only Rollins, but he fucked over Reigns. Reigns was the first one he attacked. Reigns was the first man that Triple H attacked when he made a surprise appearance during that fatal four-way. Then he pretended to be on Rollins' side. He eventually pedigreed him. He looked at Kevin Owens. He gave Kevin Owens the nod. And Kevin Owens won the Universal Championship. Take it a step further. Joe injured Rollins. Now he's going after Reigns. I would have Reigns win the Universal Championship from Kevin Owens on a random, really hyped up edition of Monday Night Raw. And I would have Samoa Joe go after Roman Reigns. I would actually book that match for WrestleMania. I think Joe is good enough to be the man to carry that brand as its main champion. His body of work is great. I hear people now are calling him a fat TNA reject because he injured Seth Rollins. Listen, let me see you get in the ring and do what these guys do. Every night they're risking their fucking lives, and you're calling him a fat TNA reject because an accident happened in the ring. Who cares? Shit happens. These guys are athletes. They are putting on a performance. It's like you going to a fucking ballet. Or you watching, I don't know, it could be anything, you know? Injury happens in professional sports. These guys are out there, they train every day, they work out every day, they get their bodies right every day, they train and study, you know, tape, what to do, what not to do. They fucking bump around. They use their bodies as fucking weapons to entertain us. You know, let me see you bump around for fucking 20 minutes in the ring and have nothing happen to you. Guarantee you'll be fucking crying to your mother, Mom, I can't move. I can't get up. You fucking reject, degenerate fucking internet motherfuckers, man. Seriously. Then they're the ones calling Samoa Joe a fucking fat TNA reject who doesn't belong in the WWE. Really? Really not, because he injured Seth Rollins. He didn't do it on fucking purpose. Joe didn't make his fucking Monday Night Raw debut, which was one of the fucking, I'm pretty sure, the highlights of his fucking career. You know how much adrenaline he had running him? He's on fucking Monday Night Raw for the first time ever. and he's in a program with Triple H and Seth Rollins getting ready for WrestleMania, how do you think the guy's fucking feeling? You know? Guarantee he feels miserable after what happened. He didn't expect this to happen. Shit happens. His knee was tweaked. Rollins' knee was tweaked. And, you know, now he's out. And if it is 8 weeks, we're lucky it's not the 4 to 6 months that Wade Keller was reporting. So, unless you know what's going on or you know what happens internally, you know, with these guys, and unless you are a fucking performer in that ring, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know? But I would have Samoa Joe go one-on-one with Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship as the main match for Monday Night Raw going into WrestleMania. I'm hearing Joe versus Triple H. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. I don't like the matchup there. I don't think that's worth it, to be honest with you. It really makes no sense. Well, you know, Triple H can come out and say, listen, I wanted you to injure him. I didn't want you to fucking put him on the shelf. Now I got no fucking match at WrestleMania, you know? And maybe Triple H can use that as a way to teach Samoa Joe a lesson, you know? I brought you here. I am in control of you. And then Joe, but then that wouldn't make sense, though. You know, Triple H is the fucking heel authority figure. I don't want Joe anywhere near babyface reaction at all. So that's not going to work. No, I don't want it at WrestleMania. Joe versus Reigns, that would be great. You know, everybody's talking about Roman Reigns turning heel. You know, listen. You know, have Roman Reigns humbled at WrestleMania for what he's gone through with the drug policy violation, and you know Joe being the more superior athlete. You know, I would love to have that match at WrestleMania. I think that would be a great match for a championship in a main event spot at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know if that's going to close the show, but I think those two would get in the ring and have a very, very great match. I think it'll be brutal. It'll be fucking hard hitting. It'll be something we would all enjoy. I think that is the way to go there, and it makes sense. It would really make sense. Triple H took out Rollins with Samoa Joe's help. Now he goes after Roman Reigns. The other thing I had in mind was who would Triple H fight at WrestleMania. You know, everybody's making fun of me that I mentioned Sami Zayn's name, and I put Sami Zayn's name into the hat to fight Triple H at WrestleMania. Joe had this idea about Kurt Angle coming into WrestleMania and pretty much staring down Triple H and having them two go at it, because he and Triple H have this rumored history that, you know, there's some heat there, or, you know, Triple H didn't want Kurt Angle back in the WWE because of all the fucking history that Kurt Angle has been through with the DUIs and the drugs, and him being a fucking huge question mark as far as his health goes. And now he's back, and he and Joe, Angle and Joe, have history, right? From TNA. They could relive that, but I think it's going to be too soon for that, you know? Angle's been reported that, you know, listen, I'm here for the Hall of Fame. I'm not in the Rumble, which he was not in the Rumble. I'm not going to be at Mania outside of the Hall of Fame. This is what I'm concentrating on. So, in retrospect, it could be possible. It would be interesting. But I pitched the name of Sami Zayn for WrestleMania and having him go against Triple H, just like Daniel Bryan did. Why not? You don't think Sami Zayn could bring Triple H to a great match? The same people that are saying that thought Daniel Bryan wasn't going to bring Triple H to a great match, and that was actually the best match in the whole fucking show at WrestleMania 30. So why wouldn't it work? Sami Zayn has issues with the Authority. They've been fucking instigating Sami Zayn. They've been, you know, telling Sami Zayn he's not good enough, he's not big enough, he's not fucking worthy, you know, he doesn't belong here. Stephanie McMahon pretty much got in Sami Zayn's face and says that he annoys her. It could work. Sami Zayn could come to the help of Seth Rollins. He can come to the honor of his friend. And he and Joe have history down in NXT. That would automatically work as well. You know? Sami Zayn can be beat up by Samoa Joe at Fastlane. I don't think it's going to happen because it looks like they're setting Sami Zayn up for Chris Jericho at Fastlane and a run with the U.S. title. But he and Joe have history. It could work. You know? And then Zayn would go into WrestleMania and be put over by Triple H. Why not? It happened with Daniel Bryan. Why can't it happen with Sami Zayn? And Sami Zayn does indeed fit into all this, because he has issues with the Authority and Mick Foley, and he's treated like a fucking loser on Monday Night Raw. It would work. But Rollins, I would get it out of your head that Rollins is going to be at WrestleMania because it's going to be 8 weeks, according to sources, and that's pushing it close. You don't want to bring him back. You know he's going to work hard. You know he's going to try and get back in 6 weeks. But then, WWE doesn't know for sure if he's going to be back. And what if they do build towards the storyline and do build towards WrestleMania and he's not ready? It's not going to work that way. I would keep him out. And unfortunately, it's going to be heartbreaking again. He's going to have to miss WrestleMania. I don't know. I would not rush him back at all. But it looks like 8 weeks for Seth Rollins and his knee injury. Torn ligaments. It looks like, the MCL gave him a problem again. And it happened when Joe got that chokehold on him. That fucking body scissors. And he tweaked his knee going down. It's a freak accident. Shit happens. Just like John Cena's broken nose from Seth Rollins was a freak accident. Just like Tyson Kidd's neck injury from Samoa Joe was a freak accident. I mean, how many people has Samoa Joe injured in his career? Not many. Not many. Those moves are to be treated carefully. You have to know on the receiving end how to land with those moves. Do you see people blaming AJ Styles for Yoshi Tatsu's broken neck in New Japan when he took the Styles Clash wrong? It could have happened to fucking James Ellsworth. But AJ Styles corrected that and saved Ellsworth from possible death and a broken neck. So leave it at that. Shit happens. You have to be prepared to take those kinds of moves. Joe is not reckless. Joe is not doing it on purpose. Joe is not out there to hurt people. Neither is guys like Styles, So leave it as it is. People fucking all over Joe and getting on his case that he's reckless. Give me a fucking break. It's wrestling. Shit happens. Just like how you watch baseball and fucking some idiots diving into fucking first base, which they tell you never to do. And then some guy ends up with a broken wrist. Shit happens. We told you not to do it. We told you not to do it. Some guy running in fucking in the outfield and he's rushing to the right center field gap and he overruns the fucking ball. Next thing you know, he's running into the fucking fence, gives himself a concussion, he's out for fucking 3 weeks. Shit happens. Shit happens. Or a pitcher throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, loses fucking control, some guy gets nailed right in the fucking face, guy's got a broken jaw. Shit happens. It's sports. You watch because you love the athleticism, you love the competitive nature. But that doesn't mean these guys are exempt from injury. Joe and Rollins are in a competitive sport, and Rollins unfortunately made one misstep and one wrong move, and that was it. So leave it at that. Shit happens. Other than that, we're going to go over some minor stories. I got stories on The Undertaker and his health following the Royal Rumble. Apparently, Jericho was injured in the Royal Rumble from Brock Lesnar, which is interesting because Jericho and Lesnar got into a verbal argument face-to-face after SummerSlam and that whole Randy Orton situation, but he did end up limping after the Royal Rumble. I got news on Mick Foley as well as he's getting ready for hip surgery. We're going to go over all those stories as well before we get into the big stuff. But I want to go over and bleed into the sub-stories. I got two stories this week, as always. Every week we do sub-stories. If you guys don't know, if you guys are new, you guys send me stories, personal stories about you, and how you guys are affected by what I do here on Off the Script. Because it just became its own entity on the show. If you guys are new watching this, why are we reading sub-stories? What is sub-stories? You guys seem to have this be your favorite section of the entire podcast all week, and you guys love hearing other people's stories, and, I love reading it because what someone has gone through could equally affect somebody else, and I love hearing how, me, just an ordinary fucking guy from the Bronx who loves wrestling, has his own fucking podcast, has affected so many people by just doing a Kevin Dunn impression or saying something outlandish or just smiling and laughing, and you guys see how I love doing this, the dedication, the passion I put into this, and the time I put into this. You guys make it your weekend, and you tell me how much you appreciate it. That's what Sub-Stories is about, man. We share our experiences, we share our life together, and I love reading what you guys tell me your personal stories to me, in which you don't have to do, but you feel like this show is a part of your life that you want everybody to know exactly how you feel and what you feel about this show. It's fucking awesome. It's absolutely fucking awesome. So we're gonna get into some sub stories. I got them right on my phone here. We're gonna start off with. I gotta make sure his name. I gotta make sure. Yeah, he's okay with his name being said on the podcast. Some of you guys, you've emailed me. If you guys want to get your stories out, by the way, email me jdfromny206@yahoo.com. I have everybody's story saved, and after I read them, I delete them because I gotta make room and I gotta remember whose story I gotta read next and next and next. Everybody that sent me a story, don't worry. If you haven't been read on the show yet, you will get yours read eventually. I'm so fucking backed up on email. It's ridiculous. But starting off this week, we're going to start with Nicholas. And he titles this email, "This is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down." Isn't that a lyric from the song? Or a song? I don't know, man. I can't think about it right now. But it sounds like it's a lyric from somewhere. Very familiar. Anyway, dear JD, hey my brother, let me start by saying, JD, you all right. My name is Nick and I am from Flair Country. I watched your Royal Rumble NXT TakeOver predictions video, and the moment you began to speak of your grandfather, my lungs filled with air and tears ran down my face, for I had lost my grandfather the night you posted this video. And already, I want everybody to keep Nicholas in your thoughts and prayers. Losing a grandfather or your grandpa is a very devastating, it's very devastating. And, my family still can't get over the fact that he's gone. But keep Nicholas in your thoughts, man, for him losing his grandfather this past weekend. I cried for hours, scared, and missing my pops. He was a massive wrestling fan who would yell at the TV and encourage Ric Flair to whoop someone's ass. I need comfort, so I crawled in bed and started watching your video, and it just happens that you start telling the story of your love for your grandfather and the sadness of this hateful disease, Alzheimer's. Sadly, my grandfather too suffered from Huntington's. I never heard of Huntington's. And we are no longer able to enjoy Monday nights together. It's funny how life works sometimes, I thought this would be a great toast as we rest a member of our pro wrestling community. Let this be a moment to bring forth the awareness of Huntington's, a debilitating genetic disorder caused by faulty DNA sequence that leaves its victims hopeless. I've left. You didn't leave me a link, bro. You said you left me a link. I don't have a link here. Otherwise, I'd link it in the comments section. But you've said I've left the link below. If you are in the comments, share the link. I'll pin it in the comments. Not meaning to bum, but there's a reason why things happen, and you truly have touched me, man. All I can say is your connection with your fans are the reason you will reach 100,000 subscribers, my friend. Oh, and serious shit, your grind is unreal. One love. #Goon for life, Nick. I appreciate that, Nick. The grind is unreal. I'm not gonna stop. And as far as your grandfather, I am very sorry. That's very sad to know that you watched Monday nights together. No matter how shitty the show is, I mean, it's just that bond that you share and that time you spend with him that's the most precious. And I take away from the time I spent with my grandfather too. I'd go over there, even though I know he was sick, just to see him, because I didn't know when he was gonna, be gone. We were all anticipating it, and the anticipation of him being sick, it was a shock, and I cried, heavily, and when I had to see him laid out in a fucking casket. I didn't even get to say goodbye to him, and I'd go over there as many times as I could when I had no work. And I didn't know what day was going to be his last. It could have been any day. And I wanted to spend as much time with him, And during the summer months, I go over there and, my grandma's a big Met fan. And he would be watching the game. And it's funny, man. my grandpa, he wasn't in the right state of mind, clearly, because he was suffering from Alzheimer's. But I always found it funny, and we always joked with him, and he was always in good spirits. He'd be watching the Met game with me and my grandma, and say, for example, David Wright hit a home run in like the third inning, and we're watching the game, and I see the game, and it's now the sixth inning, and they're showing highlights about how the Mets got the 2-run lead that they got, and they're showing the replay of David Wright hitting a home run. He would be like, "Oh my God, David Wright hit another home run!" Like, no, Grandpa, they're just showing a replay. It's not David Wright hit another home run. He actually just struck out. But it's moments like that which I'll always fucking remember, man, and it just brings a smile to my face, because he was so invested even in the game, and he didn't know what the hell was going on. He didn't know the names of all the players. He knew who David Wright was, and that type of shit. But it's that moment that makes you smile and you remember back. And like I said, I'll never forget just spending that time with him. And I don't know how your situation was with your grandfather. I didn't get to say goodbye to him because I was at work, and I was getting ready for the day, and it sucks. And I got the fucking phone call from my mom that he passed, and it sucks. I didn't get to say goodbye to him, and the next thing you know, the last time I see him, he's laid out in a fucking casket. So that's just that, man. So everybody, thoughts and prayers with Nick and his grandfather. He lost his grandfather this past week, and so I definitely understand where you're coming from, man. And thank you for sharing your story here on Off the Script. So. And if you got that link to that Huntington's disease, which I never heard of before, leave it in the comments, and I'll pin it at the top of the comments. Okay, so make sure you do that if you are indeed watching the show. We're going to go to the final one this week, and we're going to do Daniel. Daniel, he titles this one, "To My Inspiration." Dear JD, though I understand this may not even get read, period. Well, you're in luck, bro. I just felt the need to tell you my story, and I wanted you to know how much you have affected my life in only the past year or so. I just turned 18 a couple of weeks ago. Well, happy belated. But my life has been by no means easy. I was a constant target of bullies my whole life while growing up in a broken home, and honestly, it got to a point where I was considering suicide as young as age 9. The only way that I made any friends was learning a little bit about wrestling and talking about it at school. I would mostly sneak old VHS and DVDs in because my mother hated wrestling and would never let me watch it, especially after Chris Benoit's incident. But I still wanted to learn about it, just to make friends. When I started learning about how much stuff wrestlers could do in a 20-by-20 circle, it blew me the hell away. Everyone from Eddie Guerrero to Rey Mysterio, and especially Shawn Michaels with his match against Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, which is my favorite match until Punk Cena at Money in the Bank 2011. Well, Taker Michaels at WrestleMania 25 is my favorite match, period. I think it's fucking unbelievable. And the Punk Cena match was great, too. For all you fucking Cena goons out there. Cena's had more great matches than you tend to lead on. So, he just fucking cut the Cena shit out. It really fucking pissed me off this week. How people can watch the AJ Styles match with John Cena at Royal Rumble and not appreciate it for what it is. They automatically want to think it sucks because John Cena's a part of it. Who gives a shit? It's wrestling. We're here to watch wrestling. It was a great fucking match. End it. And even Daniel can appreciate John Cena, and that being one of his favorite matches ever. And look who was in the match. It was Punk versus Cena. So why is it so hard for you to, give Cena his props? Who gives a shit? Anyway. But regardless, all this just enthralled me, but I took a long break to focus on my academics and extra activities. And then when I was 14, my mother got diagnosed with cancer, and we later realized it was stage 4, and the person who raised me would be leaving the earth sooner rather than later. So I got back into wrestling again as an outlet to deal with my depression and anxiety. This was around 2014. And it got me so much further into the business. And then just as I was begin to go through the motions and become depressed again, in April 2016, I saw 2 YouTubers that would change my life forever. It was a random podcast called Out of Nowhere that was covering the death of China. And I do remember that like it was yesterday, man. Me and Joe were all over that. We were live, and the news of China's death broke as we were live. It was fucking crazy. And I started watching many of both of you and Joe's videos and instantly fell in love with your content. People who genuinely had a knowledge of the business and opened my eyes to a whole new level, fun way of viewing wrestling. Just to think that before you saved my wrestling mind from going fully under, I thought WrestleMania 32 was a great show. LOL. Are you fucking kidding me? But regardless, I have been a regular viewer and been hooked ever since, and even as my mom's health and my own physical and psychological health began to get worse, and as my friends left and drifted from me, you were the only one who was there constantly with material to cheer me up. Unfortunately, my mother passed from cancer in November 2016, just 2 months shy of my 18th birthday. But she is in a better place and no longer suffering. I am now in a better place in my life. My health is better, and me and my sister are moving on with our lives. My sister really doesn't like wrestling, but loves Bayley. Thank you for helping me through the shittiest time of my life, and I'm now starting to do WWE reviews on YouTube, and I'm wanting to start a podcast soon. I hope you have great success in not only YouTube, but in your commentary career, not just with House of Glory, but hopefully beyond. And if I ever meet you, I only hope that you can call me a goon to my face. And I hope it wouldn't be too much to ask for a belated birthday follow on Twitter from the man himself. Or at least some tips on how to make the cool layouts and shit since I'm starting. I may not have enough money to buy all your merch or donate to Patreon, but I hope at least being a loyal fan and follower will do good enough. And I know you get this a lot, but genuinely thank you for being there for me when no one else was. By the way, my name is on Twitter, at DanPunkard99. First of all, let me go back here, because I don't want to get teary-eyed. Number one, I'm sorry about your mother. I can't even begin to fathom what it would be like to lose my mother, and I can't even fathom anybody losing their mother. I don't want to go through that. And who's ever lost their mother, I genuinely am sorry, because my mother is the most important person in my life right now. I'm glad that you're in better health. I'm glad that you and your sister are moving on and are living healthy. All it takes is someone like Bayley to turn someone's opinion around about wrestling, because she's great at what she does, and people love her. I mean, people put her down as well. People told her that she'll never make it, or she's too soft, or she's a goody two shoes. She's not gonna have what it takes to make it in the business, and here she is. She became the best thing in NXT, and now is gonna be on the verge of winning the Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw. So, never let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. As far as your reviews on YouTube, I wish you luck. If you're watching and you're in the comments, leave your YouTube channel down there, and have people come over and sub to you, man. As far as a podcast, if I could give you any tips, all you got to do, man, the way I started out, it was with a Blue Snowball microphone, which you can get on Amazon for like $49. You can go get a cheap microphone. You can get like a Logitech C900, and you can probably pick that up for like $69 if you're lucky. $100. My brother wants to do YouTube, or he wants to do something along the lines of what I'm doing, but for maybe politics or health, And I told him exactly that. It'll cost you a little bit more than $100, and you can get started. Anybody could do what I'm doing. Anybody. You put yourself out there, you show passion, you develop your voice. Because I was nervous as shit when I started this fucking podcast, man. If you heard, what some of you have, my earlier shit, I don't sound anything like I do now. I sound like a fucking goon and a half. But that's all it takes, man. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna get. And it's fun. Doing this is fun, man. Doing this is not even a job to me. I'm loving doing this to the point where I honestly just want to quit my job and focus on this, because I know I'm good at it. I've had people leave my life because of the dedication and the passion and the time I put into this. And I just had one of my best friends, Pete, reach out to me recently, and I haven't been a good friend, but I told him, and I'm going to be hanging out with him on Super Bowl Sunday, hopefully, if plans are still in place, to watch the Super Bowl with him and kind of reconnect. I haven't seen him in a year. Get to see his kids and all that. And he reached out to me, asked me how I'm doing, and we've been talking every day, here and there. And he's asking me how successful the channel's been, and, he sees it. And he's asking me what's going on with my job and this and that. And I told him how great the channel's doing. I told him, all the support I got. And he asked me, dude, why are you even working? I mean, look at how much you've grown. Concentrate and stay home on the fucking channel. You can make a living out of what you're doing. If you've done this and you come this far, why don't you just fucking stick it out and just take a risk? And I told him I apologize, and I apologize to everybody else that I left or that might have thought I abandoned them. When you call me, I don't hang out. But when I know I have something great, and I know within me, in my gut, that if I just continue on, I can make something out of this, let me do it. Let me do it. I knew I had something here, and I did not want to walk away from it. I wanted to put every ounce of energy, every ounce of fucking blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and I didn't want to stop until I knew it was going to be where it is today, and it's still growing. And I'm not going to stop until I am the fucking king of this on YouTube. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I want to take this to a completely different level. Maybe we go to Sirius. Maybe we become the next fucking Taz. Maybe we have our own fucking show on CBS Radio or Sirius XM. Maybe we're the next Sam Roberts. I don't fucking know, man. The sky's the limit. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Maybe I'm fucking hired by Ring of Honor for play-by-play commentary. Who the fuck knows? I am not stopping what I'm doing because I know I have a great thing here. And if you want to start your own podcast, put yourself out there and show people that you love what you're doing and you love what you're talking about. I guarantee you, people will see that, people will subscribe, people will come, and people will support. That's my tip for you, okay? Do not be afraid. It's going to suck at first. You're going to be like, I sound like shit. But you're eventually going to get over that, and you're going to get better. And my ultimate goal here is to make this show better than it already is. New equipment possibly in the future, new camera, new mic, new this, new that, new setup. I want to fucking move from this place and just take it to a whole nother level. I'm not even fucking started yet, bro. But if you want to get started, just listen to me. It's very simple. Put yourself out there. Love what you do. Give yourself $150 to just get up, the simplest setup you can, and just let the words come out of your mouth, man. Seriously. What else is House of Glory? I can't wait to do more House of Glory. It's just fun. It's so much fun, man. Just to be in and around, the company and the business. It's just so much fun. I will call you a goon. I will call you a goon if we do meet. I don't know if you're going to be at Wrestlemania, but I will call you a goon if we do meet one day face to face. For a birthday follow, yes, I'll actually do that now live on Off the Script here. We'll follow you. Let me type in your Twitter handle, Dan_Punkard99, and let's search for you here. We're going to do, there you are. There you are. Follow. JD's now following you, man. All right. Thank you for being with me, man. And he ends it, from the goon you inspired, Daniel from New Mexico. I appreciate you, Daniel, and I hope everything's well. Wish him, everybody in the comments, wish Daniel well, and keep him in your thoughts as he just lost his mother about 3 months ago. So I want to thank everybody for submitting I want to thank Daniel for submitting his story, and I want to thank Nicholas for submitting his story for Off the Script this week. And if you guys want to get your stories out there, email me, jdfromny206@yahoo.com. So those are the sub-stories this week, and as you can see, that's the type of stuff we talk about here. You open yourself up, and this is a big family, man. This is one big family. And I appreciate everybody that's willing to sit down late at night, type away on your phones or your computers, and send me shit. Who the fuck am I, man? Send me shit that you probably haven't told many people, but you trust me with it, and you love what I do here, and you love the show, man. Can't get any better than that. Moving on, guys, I want to thank everybody who signed up for Audible. Audible is sponsoring Off the Script from here on out. Audible's been sponsoring Monday Night Raw Review, SmackDown Review, NXT Review, Off the Script Extra. Audible is giving away one free audio book to everybody that's listening to Off the Script. If you got an iPhone, if you got an Android, if you got a tablet, if you got an iPad, Audible is compatible with every device in your home. Okay? This is all you got to do. audibletrial.com/offthescript. They are letting you try the service free for 30 days. And if you guys end up canceling, you get to keep your audio book. The Death of WCW, Daniel Bryan, Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, Bob Holly, Brock Lesnar, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. Everybody you know has got a wrestling book out there on Audible. Over 180,000 books in total. And I just read this afternoon that AJ Lee is going to have her new book released in April. So that is going to be on Audible as well. So if you guys want to get a free audiobook courtesy of Audible and Off the Script, all you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. Sign up. Tweet me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Tell me you signed up and tweet a picture of which book you got for free. And I'll automatically retweet each and every one of you, man. So that's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Gamefly is doing the same thing, man. Gamefly is sponsoring Off the Script as well. And they're giving you guys 30 days to try their service out for free. You guys want to play Resident Evil, but you don't want to spend $70 on it? You guys want to play Kingdom Hearts 2.8? You guys don't want to spend the $70 on it, right? You guys want to buy, what else is out now? Titanfall, Battlefield. You want to try all these games? You want to try Infinite Warfare without dropping and giving Activision your fucking money. Gamefly is giving you a free trial of this service for 30 days and one free game. All you got to do is go to www.gameflyoffers.com/JD from NY. And Gamefly is going to pay for the shipping. They're going to pay for the return. They're going to mail you a package. And you're going to try the service out for 30 days. And you're going to play your game for 30 days. You're going to beat the game for 30 days. And if you like the service, you could sign up after that, and you can get whatever title you want without paying full price for anything anymore. GameFlyOffers.com/JD from NY. Thank you guys for keeping the sponsors active and treating them just like you treat Off the Script, man. Awesome. Okay? If you guys want to support the show, Patreon is alive and well, man. I want to thank everybody that has pledged towards the Patreon. I do have the Patreon t-shirts still sitting. I'm sorry. I ordered everybody's fucking shirt. They've been sitting there. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, man. I got to go to the post office and mail everybody's fucking shirt out. But I got everybody's shirt. They're all paid for. I got to send them out. Those who reached out to me asking me if I was going to send the shirts out before the Royal Rumble, I fucked up. I'm a fucking goon. But I do have your t-shirts. But if you guys want to support the Patreon page, man, little as $1, you get free access, early access to everything that I do here. This podcast is going to be early for everybody. Hours before it goes live on Friday. So if you guys want to support the Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY, and it's awesome. Be a part of Team JD. You guys get early access, and I'm going to come up with, I was talking to Horse 60, my buddy Horse 60. We're going to try and come up with tiers. I want to make everything special for you guys, but I feel like I can't do that unless I'm home dedicating all my time to this, because when I work, it just gets all fucked up. So patreon.com/JD from NY if you guys want to support the podcast, if you can afford it. It's never an obligation, but it is there if you guys want to support the show, the channel, the podcast, and all my other content right here on youtube.com. Barbershop window. You guys are going to WrestleMania, right? Some of you are going to WrestleMania. I'm going to be at WrestleMania. I'm going to be in and around WrestleMania. I don't know if I'm going to WrestleMania with the way the card is rumored to be. But I will be wearing some of my own merchandise down there, man. I might even have merchandise to sell at the Internet Darlings. I hope. But merchandise will be shown in Orlando, and I expect to see off-the-script merchandise there while I'm down there. If I'm meeting you guys at the bars, or if I'm fucking out in Orlando for a night on the town, I better see some fucking off-the-script merchandise, man. Get your fucking merchandise today. Barbershop Window. We are an official partner of Barbershop Window. So make sure you guys get your Dana Brooke, get off my TV. It worked. Dana Brooke is not on TV, man. The shirt worked. Roman Reigns. Get your Roman Reigns t-shirt. Get off my TV for WrestleMania. Get your Big Show t-shirt. Get off my TV for WrestleMania. Eva Marie. And the J.D. is Negan design. That is one of the best sellers on Barbershop Window, man. It's barbershopwindow.com. All you got to do is go to the search bar, type in off the script, and it'll take you right to my online shop. Simple as that. Barbershopwindow.com. And that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Notebook full of JD's notes for off the script. Let's get into the actual show. We're going to start off with some small news stories here. Going to go over these, and then we'll get into the fucking big story, in which I compiled a list of WWE's pathetic attempts to get Roman Reigns over. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. I sat here for an hour compiling a list of Roman Reigns failures in WWE. Go figure. I know I'll upset some fucking goon. Oh, JG! Roman Reigns, man! Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Anyway, start off with Mick Foley. Mick Foley cleared for hip surgery. New Raw GM. Will we see a new Raw GM? I don't know. I hope so. I think Mick Foley's fucking awful as a Raw GM. But, one can only hope. I wish. I can wish upon a star. Maybe they bring Angle back. I would love to see Bischoff back in a GM role. I don't think he'll do it, but I think Bischoff is the quintessential GM for Monday Night Raw. I would love to see it, but I wouldn't blame him because the show's awful. But Mick Foley is the current GM, and he's had a rough time trying to get much-needed hip replacement performed. After being unable to do so due to a lapse in his health insurance, he's had to play the waiting game. Now, fortunately, he has seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and he now has his health insurance back. With this out of the way, Foley is now cleared for hip replacement surgery, and will have it performed as soon as he has a break in his schedule. Once he has the surgery, he will be out for at least 6 weeks due to blood clotting. Flying increases these risks, but thankfully, due to his role in the company, he will have a much easier exit strategy than an active wrestler on the roster. Mick Foley even released a statement, and he says, and I quote, "Hip, hip, hooray." I see what you did there, Foley. I'm cleared for hip surgery. It's okay, couple of months, but I was able to get my health insurance back, and by getting my right hip replaced whenever I have a break in my schedule. The bad news is that a hip replacement will not allow me to fly for about 6 weeks due to potential blood clotting issues, which can be fatal. Really nothing to play around with, clearly. The good news is that the GM position doesn't offer much in the way of long-term job security, so that break might present itself as a natural cause for events to follow. It turns out that dropping elbows off ring aprons was not particularly good for my skeletal structure. While I defied the expectations of some wrestlers who predicted I would be in a wheelchair by the time I was 40, I certainly was having trouble getting around by the time I hit 50. While losing 100 pounds and practicing DDP yoga have been game changers for me that have allowed me the opportunity to take on this job with all the travel it involves, I'm still having a difficult time getting around. Did not realize how noticeable my limping was until I watched these past Holy Foley episodes. Can you remember what the Godfather told us about limping, right? It ain't easy. So limping ain't easy. I thought, yeah, never mind. Thank you for all your well wishes. They are much appreciated. I have talked to several people who have had this operation, and they say it is like night and day. With one operation, long-term pain gives way to a much better quality of life. Hopefully that will be the case for me. I will keep all of my scheduled bookings, including my appearance February 17th through 19 at the Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida. So Mick Foley is getting hip surgery. They might replace him. I don't know. Or we could be tortured with Stephanie McMahon for 6 weeks plus on Monday Night Raw. Either way you look at it, it's not good. Either way you look at it, it's not good. They're probably not going to bring back anybody that we're going to like for GM. And if they don't, we're going to have to see Stephanie McMahon be in charge of Monday Night Raw and have her fucking banshee-like gargoyle shrieks making our ears bleed on Monday Night Raw. But Stephanie McMahon has become absolutely get-off-my-TV worthy to the point where you literally reach for the remote control and you desperately try to change the channel. That's how bad it's been. She's been awful. And Foley, I wish him the best. I hope he has a better quality of life. I hope he feels better after this hip replacement surgery. But yes, you cannot fuck around with that. Like he said, blood clotting issues, flying, could be fatal. You don't want to fuck around with that. So WWE, clearly going to give him the time off to get back into good health. He's given them so much. So 6 weeks away from the job isn't going to do anything to bring down Monday Night Raw. It's already brought itself down. So without Foley, it's not going to make the show perform any better. So let him do what he's got to do. Let him get himself right. And he's going to get hip replacement surgery at the end of February. So there you got it on Mick Foley. There was a last-minute change to the Raw Tag Team Championship at the Royal Rumble. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were not originally in the Royal Rumble plans to leave the show as the Tag Team Champions. Go figure. It's being said that earlier plans the week of the Rumble had called for Sheamus and Cesaro to retain their championship against Anderson and Gallows at Sunday's event. The company made a last-minute decision before the show started and had Cesaro and Sheamus drop the titles. WWE, clearly, is notorious for changing their plans on the fly. They do it every single year. So, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are not scheduled to win. But right before the event, they said, you know what, let's change our minds. So, the tag team title reign of the New Day was pretty much all they talked about, and now they've made a mockery of it. The New Day lost. As soon as they broke the record, they lost the fucking titles. The guys who beat them to break that record lost the titles. And there's no tag teams in the division. You got the club, you got Sheamus and Cesaro, which I wish they'd go by a name. The New Day, Enzo and Cass, they're busy fucking promoting Kentucky Fried Chicken, Golden Chicken, right? There's no fucking tag team. You want the Chicken Men to be competing for the tag team championships? The Shining Stars, the Golden Truth. There's no fucking teams on Monday Night Raw that I take seriously. It's a fucking disgrace. An absolute fucking disgrace. The worst thing about WWE right now, if you were to pick weak points, is the tag team division on both brands and the women's division on Monday Night Raw. Because I'm loving the women's division on SmackDown. But last minute change. Gallows and Anderson were not originally scheduled to win the titles. They changed the decision last minute, and clearly, you know what happened. They won the tag team titles at the Royal Rumble. This is a shitty story, man, and I would actually fucking sue not only the Alamo Dome, but I'd fucking drive right over to Stamford, Connecticut, man. I'm only fucking 20 minutes away. If this happened to me, I would be in somebody's face until something is rectified, bro. Fans get screwed out of their $400 Royal Rumble seats. Apparently, there was a seating issue at Sunday's Royal Rumble event at the Alamo Dome. Several readers have sent word that they didn't exactly get the seats that they paid for at the event. Reddit user Evan Webb 546 shared the following email he sent to WWE's corporate email regarding his seating situation at the Royal Rumble, where he and his friends were screwed out of their $400 seats. And I quote, "I'm going to assume by the near constant busy signal on your customer care line, a lot of my fellow floor seat folks are upset as I am about their disappointing Royal Rumble experience. I got to the arena in time for the pre-show, and I got to watch a total of 2 matches from the seat I picked specifically on Ticketmaster along the ramp barrier. It was shortly after that I was asked to get up by a police officer. Me and hundreds of others were left to stand awkwardly in the aisle for a quarter to half the entire show. I paid nearly $800 for my friend and I to stand in the aisle, getting berated by other fans, cops, and rude Alamo Dome staff. I was even promised an event chair to take home for my troubles. When I got to the door leading out, another rude Alamo Dome employee glanced at my ticket, ignored what I was trying to tell him. 'You don't get a chair,' he said, and a policeman told me to keep it moving before I could explain myself. Before I knew I was outside, no chair, having missed half the show with just an enormous tension headache for all my trouble. Let me rephrase that. This was not only one of the worst live event experiences of my life, but one of the most taxing consumer experiences, period. I am a native San Antonian. I love attending WWE events in my city, but I will never be attending another WWE show at the Alamo Dome for as long as I live. His friend actually also shared an email, which this guy sent to WWE corporate as well. Good morning. My friend and I attended the Royal Rumble last night at the Alamo Dome, having tickets to the event since they went on sale last fall. He purchased the tickets for us, and then I reimbursed him for mine. In purchasing the tickets, he looked at the seating map, which said that in Section D, Seat 1 was to be by the entrance ramp. Your sister sits in my Section D. If you guys know what I'm talking about. That's her favorite seat in the house. Never mind. That's another story for a different day. Anyway, I had to get that in there, man. Anytime I see something like that, I gotta just sneak that in there. Whether it's your mother, your sister, your grandmother, it doesn't matter. Their favorite section is Section D. He bought seats 1 and 2 for us. Upon arrival to the Alamo Dome, we discovered that this was not the case. Not only was this not the case, but the seat number closest to the ramp was seat 16. The way the chairs were numbered, mind you, written out by chalk on the floor, starting at the aisle were seats 17 through 20 and then 1 through 16. And number 1 was not even an aisle seat. We were not only ones confused by this, every row in our section had the same exact issue. At the ramp, we were able to ask the attendees on the other side what their seat number was, and they told us they were seat 1. Because of this chaos, we essentially missed the entire pre-show and the majority of the event. We were moved from our seats at least 5 times by Alamo Dome staff and security, WWE staff and police officers. They ended up putting us on the aisle, which also meant that we did not get a commemorative seat to take home with us. All this moving and standing and walking and trying to find someone who knew exactly what was going on took us the better part of 4 hours, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We finally got to sit for the final 2 matches with limited view. We also found that patrons who had paid $70 for their seats up in the plaza level had to be moved down to our area because of their seats being taken up by lights or equipment. We paid $400+ for our seats. A lot of the evening was spent in disarray, anger, frustration, and basically a feeling of waste. We went to our guest services at the end of the show to try and find some solace or at least some sympathy for our situation, but received neither. I would say that he and I expect some sort of compensation or reimbursement because we feel cheated, robbed, and overall let down. One of the WWE staff gave us a voucher for 3 months to WWE Network to be redeemed at guest services, but they were too busy handing out chairs to people in a long line to even listen to us, let alone redeem these vouchers. Please let us know if anything can be done. First of all, I feel sorry for both of these guys. That sounds completely fucking... I would have took a gun to somebody. If I'm spending $400 for fucking tickets, somebody would have got fucking kicked in the balls, punched in the mouth. I would have fucking bum rushed ringside. I would have did something to just get my fucking voice heard. Bullshit. Absolutely. I feel so bad for these fucking guys. Number 2, WWE, I hope at this point, at this hour, on this day, since this happened, I hope these guys were fucking taken care of or reimbursed. They buy tickets to the second biggest pay-per-view, the second biggest show of the year. They need to be reimbursed. These guys need to go to WrestleMania. If I was WWE, I would send these guys, I would comp their flight, I would comp their hotel, I would comp their tickets, get them to WrestleMania. Get them seats and everything fucking paid for WrestleMania weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Send them home on Monday. And I'm talking about first class, I'm talking about fucking luxury box, I'm talking about fucking hotel room, everything. That is bullshit. And fuck the Alamo Dome, man. If I'm in the Alamo Dome, I'm fucking raising bullshit. Bullshit. I feel so sorry for these guys, and hopefully WWE will rectify that, man. That is a terrible fucking story from 2 guys, 2 friends who wanted to go to the Royal Rumble, spent over $800 plus to sit down by the ramp gate, and they got fucking cheated. Police officers tell them to move. They don't get no fucking chair. And they get not only a Rumble chair, but send them a WWE Championship title, replica, whatever. Whatever. Send them something so that they're happy. This is a customer service issue, man, and I fucking hate customer service. I really am, but I know business mentality. If you piss off one person and you treat one person wrong, that one person is going to turn into 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and it's going to continue. Because all you need is one voice to tell to another voice, right? And then that's going to turn into 4, and it's just a vicious cycle. You got one bad experience from somebody, it's going to fucking reach many, many people. And nobody's going to attend a WWE event in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome ever again if this is the fucking case. And whoever these employees are need to be fired. If you're going to treat people like that because you're there and you hate your fucking job and you don't want to be there, I hate wrestling, fuck you, I don't give a fuck how much money you spend, do what I say because I got the fucking jacket on. Fuck you, man. You deserve to be fucking terminated for your shitty customer service. Honestly. Anyway, I hope these guys get their situation rectified, and I honestly, if I was WWE, send these guys to WrestleMania. Paid for. Completely. Undertaker's health following the Royal Rumble. Everybody's talking about the Undertaker's health in the Royal Rumble. He was slumped over. He was limping. He looked fat. He looked like he had a beer gut. Undertaker made a big impact in the Royal Rumble, eliminating both Goldberg and Baron Corbin to massive reactions. But if it seemed like the dead man had lost a step or two, it wasn't just your imagination. According to Dave Meltzer, Undertaker was in a great deal of pain during the Royal Rumble, which explains his less than stellar appearance during the match. The pain was already clear backstage, and it's certainly part of the reason why he appeared so late in the Rumble. We knew The Undertaker was going to appear anywhere between 25 and 30, You're not going to have The Undertaker come out at number 5. No way he would have lasted. No way. Taker had undergone hip surgery recently, and Meltzer speculates that he came back too soon from the operation. The current plan for Undertaker, based on backstage reports from Meltzer, and the story being set up at the Royal Rumble, is for him to take on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. With 2 months for further rehab, it's possible that the dead man could get back into shape for a solid match. But in any case, seems like Taker's last rodeo is just around the corner. Everybody's like, oh, Undertaker's got to retire. Yeah, no shit. Think the Undertaker's going to be around for another 5 years? No fucking way. Next year, in my honest opinion, is the Undertaker's last WrestleMania. But as far as the Undertaker's health going into this year's WrestleMania, he will be fine. He will be fine. Undertaker is always top-notch at WrestleMania. Every year, we always say this. I feel like every year I say the same thing on Twitter when the Undertaker comes out for his match at WrestleMania. Boy, does he look amazing. He'll be back in shape. Trust me. Undertaker's health at the Royal Rumble was apparently a red flag for everybody, but the Undertaker and WrestleMania, you don't think he takes WrestleMania to be important? Or doesn't deem it important? He'll be back in shape. He'll lose the gut. He was recently seen bench pressing 400 fucking pounds. Guy's a fucking legit monster. He'll be okay. I'm not worried about the Undertaker's health. He'll be in good spirits. He'll look sleek and slim, and he'll fucking jet black dye that fucking hair of his. He'll be fine. Undertaker will be fine going into WrestleMania. Jericho, injured. Brock Lesnar apparently responsible for injury during Royal Rumble match. According to new reports, Jericho tweaked his ankle during the Royal Rumble match while working with Brock Lesnar. Since Lesnar didn't enter the Royal Rumble until late, Jericho wasn't hurt until the last few minutes of the match. Thankfully, his ankle injury isn't serious, and he won't miss any time on TV. Good to hear. Obviously, Jericho was healthy enough to wrestle a full match with Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw and work the table spot with Strowman on Raw. However, he has had a rough 24 hours following the Rumble and will need rest over the next couple of days into next week to recover from the ring time he's put in this week. He lasted fucking 61 minutes in the Rumble, though I don't agree with it. He fought Sami Zayn. He got beat up by Braun Strowman. So Jericho is going to need to just have some nice R&R this week. WWE officials still have some big potential plans for Y2J heading into Fastlane and WrestleMania. So he is still needed for the next few months. It's been reported that Jericho is indeed finishing up with his run with the WWE right now. He's expected to finish his latest run with WWE shortly after WrestleMania 33, which is a year longer than his run was originally planned to be. The assumption is that Jericho will be putting on an exclamation point on his current run by feuding with Kevin Owens on the grandest stage of them all after several months of build-up between the two men. As of this writing, there is no timetable for his return to WWE programming. In fact, it is likely he will take a long break from WWE in 2017, but there are a few men who deserve it more than Jericho. The WWE Universe will always welcome him back with open arms whenever he is ready to return, but for now, there is still roughly 2 months of Jericho left in WWE. Y2J still has a lot of work to do with the company before walking out the door in Orlando. So he's not hurt. He just needs some rest. And he's going to have a big WrestleMania. He's going to be involved in Fastlane and something big. So after that, goodbye Jericho, Fozzy, tours, music, podcasts, maybe some television spots there for Jericho. Jericho is one of the busiest men in the industry. He's always doing something, man. It's like the guy never fucking sleeps. He's a machine, you know? But his run has been fantastic, although it's kind of winding down. It's kind of getting stale and repetitive, and it's not as funny as it was 6 months ago. But Jericho and what he's done with this list and getting over the way he has in his late 40s is fucking unbelievable, man. Just shows you that Jericho, whatever he does, whatever he puts his mind to, money. The guy knows the business inside and out. The guy's a fucking genius, and he's one of the most talented guys that this business has ever seen. So good luck to Jericho, and I'm looking forward to what he does. I'm wondering how WWE gets to Kevin Owens and how the breakup really happens and what we're going to see going into WrestleMania. Should be interesting, and I'm definitely ready to hear new Fozzy, man. I think Fozzy's last record was very underwhelming. They got to get back to that old school style, man. They got Rich Ward, who was part of Stuck Mojo, who early on, Stuck Mojo was fucking untouchable, man. Unbelievable guitar players, Rich Ward. Some of the greatest fucking melodies you'll ever hear from a metal guitar player. They need to really capture that essence, and they need to just fucking go balls to the wall with the melody and the fucking guitar riffs and the fucking percussion. I can't wait to see what they got, man. They got to step it up, because the last two albums were thumbs down, in my honest opinion. But Jericho is going to be out of the WWE following WrestleMania 33. The real reason why WWE wants Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania 33. And no, it's not because the fans want it so badly. It's not because the fans have wanted this for many, many years, ever since Roman Reigns burst onto the scene. It's because Vince McMahon gets a proverbial hard-on with Roman Reigns in the ring, glistening from all the oil and the spotlights, and his fucking greasy hair with Kevin Dunn fucking snickering next to him. Vince! You know? That's exactly what happens, by the way. That's exactly what happens. But, Roman Reigns! You just made the list. I have a list here before we actually get into the story, the bullshit story. Just more underlying reason to show you guys why Vince McMahon is a fucking senile moron. But I compiled a list here, and it's quite extensive. It's quite extensive. This is all that I thought of. If you guys want to chime in, please do so. Just leave it in the comments. And don't leave something like illogical. You know, leave something that really makes sense and that will add to the topic of discussion here. I compiled a list of WWE's failures and pathetic ways that they tried to get Roman Reigns over. Listen to this. We're going to start. This is in no particular order, okay? I tried to go from, like, earliest to most recent, but it's in no particular order, okay? Roman rarely took the pinfall when he was in the Shield. Okay? Roman was always the hot tag in a tag team match with the Shield. He was made the leader during the Shield's final days. It was the main focus of Evolution and Wyatt's feud. Okay? He broke a Survivor Series elimination record. He retained all Shield likeness with his entrance coming through the crowd, which they eventually got rid of. Right? It ensures that it always looks like the crowd is into him. He broke a Royal Rumble elimination record. Blatant use of Samoan heritage. Had Big Show and Kane eliminate internet darlings from the 2015 Royal Rumble so that Roman could win by eliminating the two giants. He won the 2015 Royal Rumble. He stood next to The Rock and was showered with booze afterwards. They tried to get The Rock to give Roman his blessing. It failed. They exploited Dean Ambrose's popularity. They booked him strongly against Brock Lesnar, who at the time was the most dominant athlete in the sport. Daniel Bryan, Paul Heyman, both begged everybody to like Roman. Always gets the stipulation matches, even if undeserved. Example, Hell in a Cell. Seth Kane made more sense to be in the cell that year. Always gets the cool spots on the show while the rest of the card always have to tone it down. They used his own child for the Bray Wyatt storyline leading into Hell in a Cell. Rehashing the Daniel Bryan underdog story. They tried to get the USA pop against the League of Nations. The use of Sheamus as WWE champion to get Roman Reigns over with the audience. Muting and altering crowd reactions, muting crowd responses, lowering the volume when Roman comes out. Vince McMahon himself tried to get Roman over as he won the WWE title on Raw in Philadelphia from Sheamus. Injury angle in the 2016 Royal Rumble that left him out of the match for 30 minutes. Losing the title to Triple H in said Royal Rumble and having him overcome the odds of the Authority in a Steve Austin-like fashion. WrestleMania 32 main event with Triple H. And most notably, we've seen from 2016 going into 2017, he won the WWE Championship. They gave him a match which eventually failed with Triple H. It was one of the worst matches of all time. Then he fails a drug policy violation, has the title stripped from him per storyline, or he loses it at Money in the Bank to Rollins, and then Ambrose cashes in. Roman Reigns is right back into the thick of things 3 months later. Royal Rumble comes. He's got a Universal Championship match against Kevin Owens. He's on the cusp of beating Kevin Owens. He loses, but they put him in the Royal Rumble at number 30 this year. Need I say more? And now they're booking him in a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. If you guys have any more to add to that, please. Some of those I took from Reddit. Some of them I added on my own. But I compiled this list right here. Roman Reigns. This is all the ways they tried to get him over since he became a singles competitor from the Shield. But the real reason why WWE wants Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania is not for any good reason at all. Because Vince McMahon has a fucking infatuation with Roman Reigns. By all appearances, Roman Reigns will be facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. It's all but a done deal, especially after what we've seen at the Royal Rumble. It's been done for a specific reason that the WWE Universe wasn't aware until recently. We've known that WWE is wanted for Roman Reigns to be the top face in the company. Again, by all appearances, he is to some people. But Vince McMahon is reaching the end of his rope to continue giving him chances to improve his standing with WWE fans. It has been reported that Seth Rollins' knee injury will keep him off of WWE programming for at least 8 weeks. He could be on the shelf for 4 to 6 months. That was originally reported. So there is more pressure on Roman Reigns than ever before to lead Raw through WrestleMania 33 and beyond. Many people think that the upcoming match with The Undertaker is a great opportunity for him to turn heel, but that's a bit of a stretch with the news of Seth Rollins. Some people are still unhappy about Roman Reigns being the number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble match this past Sunday, but the reason why he took that spot was WWE doctors didn't medically clear Finn Balor to return to the ring. Also, Reigns didn't win the match. However, he did eliminate The Undertaker, which was a big moment because it alluded to what WWE officials are planning for both men at WrestleMania 33. If you guys watched the Royal Rumble and you heard Roman Reigns' number go off at number 30 and you hit the theme music, you heard the theme over the PA, and he comes walking down the aisle trying to sell an injury from earlier, right? You guys ever watch that Mortal Kombat movie, the first one? I'm talking about the original Mortal Kombat movie. Shang Tsung, You know, where the fucking black dude is laying on the ground, and you got a up close face shot of Shang Tsung right there, and he's like, you know, your soul is mine, and he's fucking got his hand over the body, and the guy's fucking having his soul ripped out, right? And he's just laying there, right? He just dies right there. And then Shang Tsung again, flawless victory. That was everybody's fucking collective feeling inside the Alamo Dome. Everybody. From the Alamo Dome to the fucking West Coast to the East Coast and everywhere in between. That was everybody's fucking... All of us across the United States, across the globe. Fucking one huge sigh. That was it. That was the reaction when Roman Reigns came out. Nobody wanted it. Everybody wanted to fucking put a gun to their head and end their night. But some people, you know, they liked it. They're giving you the excuse of, oh, Roman was only there to get Randy over. Because if Randy won and he didn't eliminate a guy like Roman Reigns, it would have been shit on. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. WWE had one easy way to prevent that from happening. Give it to Bray Wyatt. You're going to have Randy win the Royal Rumble. And what if he didn't eliminate Roman Reigns? People were going to shit all over it. Don't give me that excuse that he was there to get Randy Orton's Royal Rumble win over. Fuck that. You want to get a reaction that everybody's going to genuinely enjoy? Easy. Bray Wyatt should have won the Royal Rumble. And the role should have been reversed from what is being rumored. Wyatt should have won the Rumble. Randy Orton should have won the title in the Elimination Chamber. Bray Wyatt should win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Boom. Problem solved. We didn't need to see Roman Reigns. I would have rather had fucking Kane come out. I would have rather have Kane come out in the Royal Rumble and hear that fucking music go off. I would have been okay if there was nobody that came out. I would have been okay if number 30 was just there. The music, no music hit, the buzzer rang, and nobody came out. Might as well. That would have been a better reaction than what we got from Roman Reigns. But the brief confrontation between Roman Reigns and The Undertaker during the Royal Rumble match happened to ignite a feud between them that will likely escalate after WWE Fastlane. Going into the pay-per-view, I'm still fucking laughing about my imitation of that guy that had his soul sucked from Mortal Kombat. Going into the pay-per-view, Roman is expected to have a match with Braun Strowman to settle the score between them before WrestleMania. Reigns defeating Strowman will be the beginning of a huge push WWE has planned for him. What else is new? What do they got planned for him? He's going to be in the mid-card for the rest of the year? Give me a fucking break. The point of Reigns versus Strowman is for Roman to build a support from the WWE Universe because he was able to overcome one of the most dangerous men in WWE. You think WWE is going to boo Braun Strowman if he's against Roman Reigns? Of course not. Braun Strowman is everybody's favorite new wrestler after what he did at the Royal Rumble. You think they're going to boo him? People were fucking... 52,000 people were cheering when Roman was power slammed through a fucking table. Are you fucking serious? Give me a break. Nothing will work. Nothing will work, bro. Seriously. It's like a fucking rash. It doesn't go away. It's like herpes. It doesn't go away, bro. Roman Reigns is herpes. They'll be with you for the rest of your life. And that's exactly what Roman Reigns is. Not only that, but overcoming Braun Strowman will get Reigns ready for The Undertaker at WrestleMania in Orlando and build his stock so high that it may be believable that he could defeat the dead man at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns' stock is high. Really? With who? 14-year-old women? The MILFs in the crowd that divorced their fucking husband and went through 6 marriages? Is that the stock that Roman Reigns is building? His stock is high. With who? His stock is fucking near sub-levels right now. Stock is high. Are you fucking out of your mind? Who writes this shit? There is no question that Roman Reigns wrestling The Undertaker at WrestleMania will raise his stock. Really? Your mother's stock was raised last night. Oh, she's seen my stock raised. You know? We went from the Dow Jones being in the negative to in the positive with your fucking mother last night. Roman Reigns' stock is as low as the fucking wreckage of the Titanic. Give me a fucking break. Guy is absolutely fucking piss poor right now as far as reaction goes. And I don't believe people reporting The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns and they're They're not, reiterating what should be said. This will kill Roman's career. You honestly think taking a legend like The Undertaker at his event, an event that he was undefeated in, and against many different opponents, you think because Roman Reigns is going to be fighting The Undertaker, they're going to automatically be on the side of Roman Reigns? Who the fuck? Who are you? Who are you? Why are you in this business? I mean, Vince McMahon's been around this. He's owned this company for how many years? And he doesn't get this? This is the simplest fucking thing staring him right in the face, and he doesn't see it. What is with Roman Reigns? What is so special about Roman Reigns that this guy has to get over? After everything I just read to you, you need to do more? If none of these things worked, if Daniel Bryan, the hottest guy in the company at the time, couldn't get him over, you think The Undertaker's going to get him over at WrestleMania? Paul Heyman, the best man you could possibly ever have on the microphone. If he didn't get Roman Reigns over, who the fuck's going to like Roman Reigns? You put him against Brock Lesnar in a match that I enjoyed very much at WrestleMania 31. What happened? That didn't get Roman over. I thought it would. That was the closest they ever tried to get him over. He was a legit fucking tough guy. That was a great scripted, produced match. Didn't work, though. Did not work. And it got worse from there. We had one glimmer of hope when Vince McMahon came back and tried, I'm going to do this myself. Nobody can do it. I'm going to do it. It worked in Philadelphia. Then the next week they booed the shit out of him. Because they seen what was being done. The fans are not stupid. The fans are not stupid. He could become only the second man to defeat him, The Undertaker, that is, at WrestleMania. The WWE fans will likely boo him. They will definitely boo him during the match. And they won't be happy if The Undertaker loses. But the boost of momentum would be huge. Despite all these reasons, WWE wants to do Reigns versus Undertaker for a different reason. According to reports, Vince McMahon is a huge fan of the matchup. He and other WWE officials want to do the match at WrestleMania because they realize that The Undertaker's health and time in the ring are coming to an end very quickly. It's being reported that The Undertaker wasn't in good shape after the Royal Rumble, which is odd considering he was in the match for a very, they say he was in the match for a very long time and didn't take many bumps. Or he wasn't in the match for very long. I'm sorry. I'm a goon. I misread it. He wasn't in the match for very long and didn't take many bumps. After the Royal Rumble, a lot of people, including some WWE officials, are questioning if The Undertaker can even handle working a full match, especially with someone like Roman Reigns. However, the consensus backstage is The Undertaker will be well rested enough after recent hip surgery to handle a match with Reigns. After all, he won't need to wrestle again for an extended period of time, and he may not get back in the ring for a match ever again. WWE officials are hoping he can help Roman Reigns out before he leaves. Jesus Christ and the Christ blessing couldn't help Roman Reigns out. Roman Reigns could go visit the fucking Vatican and speak with the fucking bishop and the pope and all his other fucking goon servants. Nothing will work. Nothing will work. Roman Reigns considered the right hand of fucking Christ, and he would still be booed out of every fucking building. Nothing would work. Nothing would work. Vince McMahon has wanted this match for years, apparently, according to reports. There would be two scenarios that could play out with the result of this match. One would clearly be Reigns beats The Undertaker and gets boozed out of the fucking building. Out of the fucking building. And it would create a lengthy heel run, and it would be a passing of the torch moment. I don't see how that's passing of the torch. That's just going to be passing of the cringe if Roman Reigns beats The Undertaker. The other would be Undertaker defeating Reigns, which would be seen as both humanizing Reigns, as well as him receiving endorsement from The Undertaker. Listen, being in the ring with The Undertaker alone is endorsement from The Undertaker. Okay? Nothing else needs to happen. Either way, Undertaker was in a lot of pain during the Royal Rumble, and everybody's saying this could be his last match. Whatever. He'll be at WrestleMania. It's the same shit every year. Undertaker will be at WrestleMania next year. Don't give me that shit. I don't like it. I think Undertaker should go one-on-one with Balor. I would like to see Reigns versus Joe. Apparently, people are telling me now, they're DMing me as I'm fucking live on the podcast recording, that WWE is going ahead with Rollins versus Triple H. That they're going to try and get Rollins back before WrestleMania. So Undertaker Reigns is still on. Now, where does that leave Samoa Joe for WrestleMania? Everybody's saying, well, this probably leaves Finn Balor and Samoa Joe to go one-on-one at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind that. I thought their feud in NXT was fucking fantastic. You know? Finn Balor knows firsthand about Joe's bullying and Joe's fucking destroyer-like ways. That could work. That could really work out. No, it's not my first choice, but I would love to see a WrestleMania with Joe and Balor than a WrestleMania without them. By default, they make WrestleMania better. I would like to see it. And give those guys a stage and 25 minutes. You got match of the night right there. So I'd like to see it. I wouldn't mind seeing it, I should say. I mean, I would like to go in a different direction with WrestleMania, but I am not part of creative, and Vince McMahon obviously doesn't care about who he has employed on his payroll as far as creative writing. But that's the reason why WWE wants Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, a passing of the torch. Give me a fucking break. If everything I mentioned didn't work, you think this is going to work? I mean, if Vince McMahon himself, the fucking owner of the company, couldn't get this guy over, you're going to rely on a 51-year-old aging, deteriorating, Undertaker? Come on, man. How stupid, how ignorant, how stubborn can you be? It's staring you right in the face every week. Every week. You don't hear it? You don't see it? You don't feel it? This will be the end of Roman Reigns' career. His career is dead. Absolutely dead. He will never be a babyface ever again. Ever again. It's like WWE is out to sabotage Roman Reigns. I mean, like I said before, what is with the infatuation with Roman Reigns? I mean, does Vince McMahon owe the Samoan legacy or the Samoan families a favor? I mean, I don't understand. Was Roman Reigns that good of a blowjob back then when he was coming up? What the fuck? I mean, is the Illuminati a part of this deal? Well, why is this guy getting every chance under the sun plus a match with The Undertaker to try and get this guy over? Nothing has worked. He is not the man. The man that they're looking for to take John Cena's spot is not on the roster. He's somewhere out there in the land of the rising sun, not wanting to come to the WWE yet. Who that is, I'm sure you guys know. That's just my opinion on that. But Roman Reigns, Undertaker, looking like we are going to be pouring ourselves shots of bleach before Mania and having them chilled as the match takes place. That's what's going to happen there. So Reigns, Undertaker happening at WrestleMania. Nikki Bella officially retiring from WWE? Is this going to happen after WrestleMania 33? Nikki Bella has had a long, prosperous year in career, I should say, in WWE. She's had a prosperous year as well. She did very well on SmackDown Live. But her time in wrestling is expected to come to an end sooner rather than later. Over the past couple of years, Nikki has been suffering from serious neck issues. After a severe neck surgery, she returned to WWE after a 10-month absence at SummerSlam and has been featured on SmackDown since then to help the next generation of women. Unfortunately, her neck issues have again reared its ugly head. They continue to be an issue, and they will be an issue for her the rest of her life, especially if she continues to wrestle for the foreseeable future. Nikki Bella will go down in history as the longest reigning Divas champion, which is an outstanding accomplishment regardless of what some WWE fans thought about the term diva. She doesn't have anything left to prove, but she would like to end her WWE career properly. It's being reported that Nikki Bella's neck is giving her issues once again, which means a lot than just her wrestling career is on the line each time she gets in the ring. It could affect her life going forward. The rumor is WWE officials are planning for Nikki Bella's last match to be at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, roughly a year after Brie Bella's retirement in Dallas. Creatively, WWE has plans for Nikki's retirement match on WrestleMania stage. There's been a great deal of speculation about what WWE's plan for John Cena because every time a new exciting match is rumored for him, it's thrown out the window shortly afterwards. However, his plans for WrestleMania have revolved around Nikki Bella as of this week. Since Cena will not be in the WWE title match in Orlando, WWE is now planning Nikki Bella and John Cena versus The Miz and Maurice for the event. John and Nikki have been a WWE power couple for roughly 4 years, but it wasn't until later in their recent run that the company acknowledged their relationship on WWE programming. Total Divas is to blame for that. They've been featured on Total Divas and Total Bellas, but now WWE has opened the door for them to appear as one on WWE television. They can come together for Nikki's retirement match at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. It's been reported that John Cena could be proposing to Nikki Bella as well during the show, so featuring them in the same match makes that extremely romantic for the couple. Naturally, Nikki and John Cena would get the win over The Miz and Maurice to end Nikki's career on a high note, but an additional proposal from Cena after all the build-up we've seen on Total Divas would be a fantastic moment to end her career. There was some speculation that Nikki Bella would be featured in the SmackDown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. However, that seems unlikely considering WWE officials would strongly consider putting the title on Bella, and her retirement means those rumored plans would go away. In all honesty, the plan for Nikki Bella to finish her WWE career in a match with John Cena is a much better idea than a title match. It will be a special moment for the WWE Universe to say farewell to Bella, as she does have her critics, but Nikki will be remembered as one of the most important women in WWE history. It can be argued that there hasn't been another female WWE superstar as popular as the Bella Twins. Their longevity and success inside and out of the WWE ring will continue even after Nikki's retirement after WrestleMania. Nikki Bella's WWE career has been a fairy tale to so many people, so ending it properly with a fairy tale ending is just the perfection that she might need. So, you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, you got to think about it this way. Nikki Bella, just to get this out of the way, I'm not a huge fan of the Bella Twins. I never was, at all. But Nikki's determination to come back, Nikki's dedication and passion to the product, to the company, to the business, cannot be overlooked. I mean, anybody could have said, you know what, I'm going to get this reconstructive neck surgery, I'm going to get my life back, and then I'm going to live out my retirement, I'm going to fucking settle down, I'm going to, do things outside the business and make a career doing something else. Nikki worked her ass off, and I'm sure John Cena had something to do with that, to get her back to, tip-top shape. She came back from surgery, which most would just say, fuck it, I'm done. Come back, lend her support to not only the company, but be utilized on SmackDown to enhance the brand after the brand split, and continue on making the division better than it is on Monday Night Raw, after Monday Night Raw has received nothing but accolade after accolade and praise after praise for the fucking three women that they got over there. Rinse and repeat. Meanwhile, Nikki is adding so much more to the SmackDown Live Women's division. She's making Natalya better than we've ever seen Natalya. She tried to get Carmella over. It might have not been a success, but, she was used in a way where her name and brand recognition is most important, and they used that to its strength. You got to give Nikki props. No matter if you hate her or you hate the reality aspect of Total Divas, the hard work that Nikki has gone through to come back and use this time to help the company when she could have easily said, fuck it, I'm done. That's commendable, man. You got to respect that. You got to absolutely respect that. She is one of the most influential women in the company. History. I don't know if she is the most popular with Brie. I mean, that's up for debate. Definitely debatable on that aspect, but if you're not going to book John Cena in a championship match, fine. I would rather see him, you got two ways you could do it. You could do this, or you could do John Cena versus Baron Corbin. All right, I see, if this does take place, if you got Cena versus The Miz with Nikki and Maurice in a mixed tag team match, I see Baron Corbin going after the Intercontinental Championship and Dean Ambrose. I think that would be actually, they've teased it. They've teased it several times on SmackDown. It could work. It could work. I would like to see Baron Corbin with a title win. I think that would elevate him to the next point in his career. I think it would be an interesting match. You want to make a stipulation out of it? Fine. I think that would be the best case scenario as a plan B if you do want to go with this. It gets The Miz in a high-profile match. It gives them footage for Total Divas. Miz in the ring with John Cena. I mean, some people, again, might be up for debate that The Miz deserves something better after all the hard work he's done to just recreate himself and be the best heel on the main roster. But being in the ring with John Cena can't get any bigger than that at WrestleMania. That's a big time situation there. So if they want to do that, it really frees up Nikki from moving away from the championship scene, which I thought she was going to be a part of. You could focus on Alexa, you could focus on Becky, you could focus on Mickey, you could focus on Naomi. You could do a fatal four-way there. Nikki would be in this match with John Cena. That would be recognized as a marquee match, not only for The Miz, but for Nikki, you know? I think it works. I'm not against it, but deep down, I really don't want to see The Miz and John Cena again at WrestleMania after what we've seen last time from them. Not really something that's attractive to me as far as WrestleMania. But if Nikki is definitely retiring, then this is the best case scenario. There's no better way to do it. There's really none. You know, I heard this mixed tag team rumor, and I'm like, come on, man, you gotta have something better than that. But now you put in Nikki Bella's retiring from the WWE. It all makes sense. Really does make sense. So I would not be opposed to that. You move Baron Corbin to Dean Ambrose and have them feud over the IC title, and you got Balor versus Joe. I'm going according to WWE storyline from what I'm reading. Balor versus Joe, Reigns versus Taker, Lesnar versus Goldberg, Owens versus Jericho, Rollins versus Triple H, Styles versus Shane McMahon. You know, WrestleMania it just sounds underwhelming, bro. It really does. You just reiterate all that. It just sounds underwhelming. They could just do so much better. They could do so much better for WrestleMania. WWE contacting a lot of former WWE superstars for WrestleMania 33. Don't they do that every year? I mean, they make it into the part-time show and just kind of bypass everybody that's, you know, worked all year round and has a major role in the company for part-timers. As WWE plans for WrestleMania 33, the continued plan to be worked on and finalized by WWE right now, still nobody knows what's going on. Nothing's finalized for WrestleMania. We don't know. You know, we can assume. But there are a lot of things still up in the air. There are now just 2 months until the biggest pay-per-view of the year, and there are a lot of things going on backstage. It was never much of a surprise that WWE will bring back former superstars to appear or even have a match at WrestleMania, and that's what's being rumored to be taking place right now. There are always going to be former talents coming in for WrestleMania, whether it's for a match, to give a promo, or even a gimmick battle royal, whatever. 2017 is turning out to be no different, as the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that WWE is doing it again and reaching out to former stars to show up in Orlando. WWE has reportedly been reaching out to a lot of former female superstars in hopes of getting them to appear at WrestleMania 33. It isn't quite known what they would be doing at the pay-per-view, but the company does want them there for something. A number of different options have been thrown around for the women's matches at WrestleMania, but nothing has been cemented in place as of yet. On Raw, 4 women have become the focal point. 4 women, which coincidentally is all they got, have become the focal point as Charlotte, Nia, Bayley, and Sasha are all in the spotlight together. Talk of Charlotte and Nia teaming together against Bayley and Sasha has been thrown around, but it's already been seen. There could be a fatal 4-way match for the Raw Women's title, but that would take some work. You could do a fucking ladder match between Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley, which I would like. Give Me Sports. That outlet is reporting that Sasha may end up in a match against Monday Night Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 33. That was teased on Raw. But how many women's matches are you going to have on the main show? You know, you're going to have the championship, Banks and Stephanie, and then Nikki Bella and Maurice teaming with their boyfriends and husbands. Come on. Give me a break. If former talents are being brought in by WWE, they will work with the women on Raw or SmackDown Live. And which roster would it be? They don't even know. Over on SmackDown, there are a lot of different feuds in place, and some will, you know, come to a boiling point at WrestleMania. And even at the Elimination Chamber in under 2 weeks, we're going to finish off Natalya versus Nikki. You know, Naomi's getting a championship match against Alexa Bliss. And I'm assuming Mickie James and Becky are going to be continue feuding going into WrestleMania season. All right? Becky Lynch and Mickie, who was unveiled as La Luchadora, have been greatly involved in the major storylines now. You know, they just started a couple weeks back, and I'm assuming it's going to continue, like I said, into WrestleMania. Obviously, the majority of these female superstars will be at WrestleMania 33, but in what capacity, and will they actually be on the main show? With so many great female talents on both rosters, it's quite odd to know that WWE is looking at bringing former superstars in for the pay-per-view. Even with the longer runtime, it won't be easy to give so many women their deserving spots on the card without having too many overshadow one another. Either way, it isn't known which former talents have been contacted by the company and which ones may end up accepting the offer, but some will definitely show up. It is a bit too early to figure out more than just some of the matches that WWE will have on the card for WrestleMania 33, but many others are a bit cloudy. With a number of hours to fill, there will be at least 2 women's matches and 2 title defenses, but they may not even end up on the main show. Contacting past superstars and former talent also seems like if Raw and SmackDown women's titles won't be on the line, but maybe a female battle royal. As long as they're bringing in talents to not mix in with what they got going on. They got too many women's storylines going on. You know, there's teasing Stephanie and Sasha. Bayley's got Charlotte. Nia's getting involved. On SmackDown, you got Becky mixed in with Mickey and Alexa. Naomi's now getting into the title hunt. You got Nikki Bella and Natalia. Well, how many of these women are going to be on the main show? You could only have 2 women's matches at most on the main show. That's it. That is it. If you're gonna go with that mixed tag match, we're gonna get Charlotte, and then the SmackDown women are gonna be moved to the pre-show. If we don't get that mixed tag match with Cena and The Miz, then the SmackDown Live Championship will be on the main show with the Raw Tag Team with the Raw Women's Championship. You know, so you can't have all these women on one show. It's gonna be too much. Too much. It's gonna take up spots that belong clearly to the men. So I don't know what's going on. Like I said this from the outset. WWE last year, they were debilitated. They were fucking decimated with injuries. Now this year, they got too many superstars, and still, they don't have enough fucking time to fill an entire WrestleMania card. And they still don't know what they want to do. It's an evil fucking circle. Don't know what the hell's going on. But as long as they bring back former stars, and they don't have them overshadow an Alexa or a Naomi or Becky, you know, bring them in for a promo. Bring them in for a backstage segment. Bring a Trish Stratus back. Bring a Lita back. Have them interact with Mickey, you know? Something along those lines. Maybe they get involved in the storyline, but not physically. You get a nice little dash to spice things up a little bit. As long as they don't bring them in to overshadow what they got going on now. Lucha Underground. I miss it. I miss it on Wednesday nights. Apparently, they're going to be on Netflix starting February 15th. Lucha Underground has become one of the most entertaining professional wrestling shows on television since it debuted 3 years ago. This was my first year. Season 3 was my first year. However, they aired on a niche television network in El Rey, which has a small audience. Court Bauer was on MLW Radio this week and confirmed that all will change thanks to Netflix. A Lucha Underground Netflix deal will kick off this month, and fans can finally catch up with the first 2 seasons of the professional wrestling show starting February 15th. I might have to sign up for a Netflix account, man. Might have to do it. The deal is the first that will bring professional wrestling to a large streaming service like Netflix, although the WWE and some smaller wrestling companies offer their own streaming services as well. According to the fake news outlet of CNN, Netflix had 86 million subscribers as their third quarter of 2016 numbers showed, and the Lucha Underground Netflix deal gives the company the biggest possible fan base of any company other than WWE. The WWE Network had 1.458 million subs at the time that Netflix announced last year their numbers, according to WrestleZone.com. The WWE has also one of the largest cable audiences on television thanks to the USA Network. TV by the numbers. And that outlet reported that WWE averaged 3.615 million viewers this week for the 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Of course, Lucha Underground, being on Netflix, does not guarantee that the company matches the WWE numbers on the streaming site, but it does give fans wanting to see something different a chance for the company to win them over. Could create new fans. It could really boost up their ratings for El Rey, which I heard was struggling. Lucha Underground are currently on a break right now with Season 3, scheduled to restart on El Rey in May. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what Johnny Mundo does with the Lucha Underground Championship against Damac. Supposedly they're having an all-night-long match, which is a Iron Man match per Lucha Underground rules. And I can't wait to see what Matanza does with Rey Mysterio, man. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to. Matanza's a fucking beast. You guys gotta watch it to understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, where the fuck was I? On the small network, El Rey, Showbuzz Daily reported that they brought in 104,000 viewers to the show in December. Adding Lucha Underground to Netflix will give them millions more fans a chance to see what the hype is all about. So if you guys, you watch my Lucha Underground review and you don't know what the fuck is going on when I do it on Wednesdays when it comes back, all you gotta do is subscribe to Netflix and you can watch Lucha Underground. You can learn the company, learn the characters, learn the storylines, and pick up and just get all your information together so when you watch me, you know what I'm talking about. Unlike WWE, TNA, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor, the entire idea behind Lucha Underground is to create television and a television show using professional wrestling instead of using wrestling as the TV show. What that means is that there are clearly fictional storylines, many based on iconic Lucha Libre wrestling from Mexico. Characters in Lucha Underground have died. Some have been brought back to life, like fucking Prince Puma, like we've seen recently. And others have granted superpowers, like Cage with that fucking power glove he's been wearing. While traditional wrestling fans might snub their noses at this, the entire idea of Lucha Underground is to present it as they would any other television show. It's no different than a Netflix show like The Stranger Things, but the program is based around professional wrestlers. Listen, never mind all that, okay? That's part of the show. If you can't get past that, then clearly you shouldn't be watching, okay? I watch it for the wrestling. It reminds me of what old school ECW was. Right? This is the modern generation's version of ECW. Crowd is absolutely fucking chaos. They're chanting fucking things left and right that you would hear in an ECW show. They are very involved in the show. It's a very intimate setting. The temple is fucking beautiful, and it adds a beautiful atmosphere to the product. Matt Striker and Vampiro easily became one of my favorite commentary teams in the business. Matt Striker is great at what he does, you know? And I want to use him as a direct influence on how I commentate myself, mixed out with some things I hear from Mauro Ranallo and Jim Ross and, you know, my history of watching WWE. That's a great commentary team, and they are set up for success. They got everything going for them. They just need the platform and the audience. But it reminds me of old school ECW, and if you use that mentality, you will enjoy it. And the talent that is there speaks for itself, man. There are some talented motherfuckers in that promotion. Okay? Now, despite this, the wrestling action itself in Lucha Underground is some of the best that fans will see. You want to compare it to WWE, Ring of Honor, you know, Evolve, all this other shit. It's up there, man. They know what they're doing. They have major wrestling stars there, such as John Morrison from WWE, Johnny Mundo, Chavo Guerrero Jr. I don't believe he's there with them any longer. Vampiro, Pentagon Dark, Cage, and one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling in Rey Mysterio right now. His contract is expired, but he did finish Season 3 filming. And that's a huge selling point for Netflix subscribers as well. Lucha Underground hired an actor to portray the authority figure, Dario Cueto, who is the best authority figure in all of wrestling, who is much better than anybody right now in the mainstream wrestling business. He is someone who just cares about giving the fans what they want, also while being ruthless and violent. There's also a storyline where the police are investigating Cueto, and Lucha Underground cast B-star actor Lorenzo Lamas to portray one of the cops. Seems like a perfect fit for Netflix. Lucha Underground is nothing like fans have ever seen, with crazy storylines that live in the supernatural and with professional wrestling that is inspired and better than just about anything in WWE, according to some fans. With Lucha Underground Netflix, with this Netflix deal, Lucha Underground is about to kick off on February 15th. Fans can finally see and expect what the buzz is all about. And Lucha Underground has a chance to become the #2 professional wrestling company in the United States if it catches on, thanks to Netflix and their streaming service. This is great, man. This is amazing. I'm actually $10 a month. I think, what is it? Is it still $10 a month? I may sign up for this just for that, man. They got me right there. I haven't, instead of going through fucking Daily Motion and fucking being trolled by videos that say something, but it's not really the videos, or, you know, infiltrating my computer with a fucking virus due to these fucking streaming services, you know, like Watch Wrestling or whatever the fuck you guys tweet at me. Now we got it on Netflix, and then plus I could, you know, use the service for anything else I want, but that would be the main priority. On Wednesday night, I'll just catch up on Lucha Underground. There you go. Unbelievable stuff, man. Good on them, and I hope one of these years, man, I get myself out to LA, into the temple, to watch a live show, be a part of it. I would love to visit the temple and be a part of that atmosphere, man. It's fucking... Honestly, it is exciting. It looks great on television. Hopefully, it's in HD. I would love for these things to be in HD, because El Rey on Verizon here, it's only in SD, man. I would love to see it in HD, but this is very interesting, and it's really, really propelling me to sign up for the Netflix streaming service just to watch Lucha Underground Season 1 and 2. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable deal for Lucha Underground, and I wish them all the success. Can't wait till they come back in May so we can see the progression of Season 3. And that is everything, guys. That is everything for Off the Script. Thank you so much for watching and listening today. Almost 2 hours of Off the Script. Like I said, it's become more than just a podcast on Fridays. It's become your show to help you ease into the weekend, man. So thank you, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Please show some love to Audible. Show some love to Gamefly. Show some love to Patreon. Support the podcast. Show some love to Barbershop Window. Get your t-shirts, man. The best t-shirts on the market is through Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. Absolutely no questions asked. All right. If you missed my off-the-script extras with Seth Rollins, go and watch that. I book Wrestlemania with the possibility of Seth Rollins now being there. Those are live right now. Resident Evil 7 videos are live. More to come this weekend. What else we got? Subscriber stories. Wish everybody that I read today all the best. Thoughts and prayers with both of those guys. And Nathaniel Hexam, you are the only one for the PayPal Rumble that I have not reached out to yet. Get me your info so I can get your fucking t-shirt, man. So let me know where I'm shipping it, what shirt you want, what size you need, all that stuff. So reach out to me via DM on Twitter. All right, but thank you guys so much for everything. I will be back tomorrow with more great news and rumors. What I got working on for tomorrow, we got WWE downplaying John Cena's historic title win at the Royal Rumble for specific reasons. We got Rey Mysterio making a return to the WWE. I did pitch an idea where Rey Mysterio comes in and challenges Neville at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight title. The reason why WWE gave Randy Orton the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for WrestleMania 33, is getting special treatment from Vince McMahon himself. Vince McMahon is booking the entire angle. Universal Championship plans laid out for Fastlane and WrestleMania following the Royal Rumble, and it's not good for Kevin Owens. And that is all I got right now, plus more. I will definitely get more news for you throughout the weekend. If you did enjoy, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for part 2 of Off the Script. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you on Saturday.